The Ultimate Sonic Frontiers Challenge, a series of 4 videos I made throughout February that detailed me going through Sonic Frontiers with 6 added rules as a challenge. And I seriously believe that these 4 videos are by far and large the worst set of videos I've ever made. The audio quality fluctuates horribly, the scripts were super obnoxious, and the editing was by far the worst of all the bad qualities the video has. So, to redeem it, I decided I'd not only remake the entire series, but also add new rules to make it even harder, and to play Final Horizons, something I didn't do in the original series. Without further ado, let's go over all the rules in the challenge. In this challenge, there's a total of 7 rules as opposed to the 6 stated in the original series, with some removed and some added on, and they go as follows. Rule number 1. No retrying cyberspace. This rule states that you can attempt any cyberspace stage only one time. Retrying the stage whether inside or out will result in losing the challenge. You can quit the cyberspace stage at any moment, but that's it. Re-entering after leaving will also result in losing the challenge. And if you use all the cyberspace portals in an island and don't have enough vault keys to beat that island, you also lose the challenge. Rule number 2. No fishing. Fishing in Sonic Frontiers is extremely broken, so it doesn't really matter what challenge I had. If I allowed fishing, the game would be a breeze. I can't have that, so entering Big's fishing portals counts as losing the challenge as well. Rule number 3. No major glitches. Glitches within the game are allowed, but I cannot use any to purposefully try and skip the island or a portion of the progression of the island entirely, such as using Hyper Bounce to skip Kronos Island. Doing so will, of course, make me lose the challenge. Rule number 4. No side looping for rings. The side loop ability is still allowed, as it is literally necessary to beat the game. But any intentional side looping for rings, memory tokens, or anything of the sorts will have us lose the challenge. I say intentional because accidental side looping isn't fair to flag as losing. And frankly, the idea of side looping specifically for rings will wane with the next rule. Rule number 5. Extreme mode difficulty only. The 5th and most game-changing rule for this challenge is that I am playing with extreme difficulty on. Every other aspect of the rules changes drastically with this, which I will get into later. But for now, the main thing this rule entails is that one hit means instant death. Rule number 6. Always perfect parry. Remember the perfect parry from Update 3? Yeah, the modified version of the parry that requires timing and is in the Master King Coco trial and the final boss of the Final Horizon Island? With the help of the head mod manager codes, under the gameplay option, there's a toggle option to turn the perfect parry on at all times, which, by the way, lasts for 8 frames in extreme mode, or 0.133 seconds. Rule number 7. Portal gears and vault keys. This rule basically states that I can only get portal gears and vault keys the intended ways, which means no treasure keys or enemy drops. For the vault keys, collecting them in a non-intended way makes you lose the challenge, but for portal gears, since they don't instantly contribute towards progression, we can just ignore them and treat them as 0. Extra. Some of you who have watched the older series might be able to remember that the first rule of that series, no dying, isn't here. But as an extra twist to this challenge, I decided that while the challenge would have consequences for dying, I'd still be able to redeem myself, while also encouraging me to use the perfect parry. Introducing parrying points, a system I've decided to add to this challenge. They basically act as health points. Every time I successfully parry an enemy, I can get a varying amount of parrying points depending on which type of enemy I parry. These points can be stacked up on top of each other, and every time I die, I lose 2 parrying points. So, for example, if I initially have 3 parrying points and die, I would have 1 parrying point. Different enemies can give different amounts of parrying points. Every common enemy, like the enemies in the tutorial section of Kronos Island, grants 1 parrying point. Every Guardian like Ninja or Tower grants 3 parrying points, and every Titan like Giganto or Wyvern grants 5 parrying points. This might seem a bit too easy for me, as parrying 2 Titan attacks allow for 5 separate deaths without punishment, but might I remind you, almost none of the attacks in Sonic Frontiers are accordingly choreographed, so parrying opportunities are almost never where you think they might be. And secondly, the total parrying time for Sonic Frontiers on Extreme Mode is 8 frames, or this. Oh, what's that? You didn't see that? Let me show you again. Yeah, that's the window I have to parry every attack. Along with this parrying point system, I've also added a subsystem called Redemption. If I were to die and not have more than 2 parrying points to make up for it, then I can either take the punishment and continue to play, resetting the parrying points to 0, or I can enter Redemption. Redemption is a varying state of the parrying point system. It's basically a chance for me to not have to do the punishment, but with very steep consequences if I don't do it properly. The rate of parrying enemies stays the same, but the price of parrying points for dying multiplies by 5. So every death within Redemption costs 10 parrying points. If I am able to beat the current island with a 0 or a positive amount of parrying points, then I leave Redemption and avoid punishment. But if I end an island with any negative amount, then the amount of times I die within Redemption will be the amount of times I'll have to do the punishment. So, as an example, if I were to have 1 parrying point, then dying would cause me to have -1 parrying points. I could choose to do the punishment as is and reset my parrying to 0, or I could enter Redemption with my -1 parrying point. Parrying a Guardian would grant me 3 parrying points and allow me to leave Redemption with 2 parrying points in total, but dying would make me have -11 parrying points. Say I die 3 more times, making a total of 4, and beat any island. I would end the island with -41 parrying points, and I would have to do the punishment 4 times before moving on. So, without further ado, let's begin this challenge with Kronos Island. We start off with 1-1, and unlike the last time, I'm actually quite prepared. I've been playing a lot of the beginning parts of Kronos for recording footage, so I flawlessly beat 1-1 in under 43 seconds, with more than 150 rings, and with all red star rings. Oh, yeah, when I said the 5th rule looms over every single aspect of the game, I wasn't joking. Of the many things the extreme mode option does, it shortens the time needed to boost the S rank drastically, making this challenge even harder. Afterwards, we enter the tutorial. The tutorial area is honestly pretty relaxed, and we can spend this time making sure we collect as many memory tokens and especially as many rings as we can, so we can reach max rings and not have to worry about rings for basically the entire rest of the game. When we came across the first mob of enemies, I wanted to test out our parry, and man is it a very small window. I actually left one of them alive and successfully parried them, giving me my first parrying point, but I don't think I'll be taking such chances so lightly. The rest of the first section of the tutorial